What's up? I'm back up in here. It's your boy D Lin with another D Lin Reacts video. Back up in it with part two of Michael Jackson's last 24 hours. So without further ado, we're gonna get right into the video. And if y'all ain't checked out part one, make sure y'all go back and check out part one of Michael Jackson's last 24 hours. I'm gonna leave a link in the description so y'all can go over there and check part one out. But without further ado, we're gonna get back to the video.
Struggling after years of prescription drug addiction and medical surgery. But the world expects to see Jackson as they remember him, the king of pop. In his Beverly Hills mansion, Jackson is unable to fall asleep. At his bedside, Dr. Conrad Murray. Dr. Murray knew that the propofol he was administering to Jackson was incredibly dangerous and had attempted to reduce his dependency on the drug by giving him a lower 25 milligram dosage. After taking the anti-anxiety drug Ativan and the sedative Versed, Jackson finally falls asleep. June 23rd, Dr. Murray again administers Ativan and Versed to help Jackson sleep. 10 p.m., June 24th. At the Staples Center in downtown Los Angeles, Jackson arrives 3 hours late for rehearsal. The show was already running behind schedule, but that evening, according to eyewitnesses, Michael Jackson gave an incredible performance, and it seemed as though the king of pop was finally getting back on form.
Michael's dancing and he's totally focused. He knows exactly what he's doing and he's doing great. And, you know, I just believe he was in the wrong hands. I disagree with everyone who says that he wasn't going to be up for the shows and up to it. He's a perfectionist. He would have been fine, but he needed to be taken care of. He's an artist. You have to, they have to have special care, and I don't think he had it.
The movie came about using the rehearsals and using the production and the direction and the input that Michael had.
Real quick, if y'all ain't want to go check my last video I did, the last 24 hours of the late great Marvin Gaye part one, excuse me, part 1 and 2. Make sure you check that out. The reason I'm bringing it up because it was the same thing in that video. He was addicted to cocaine, addicted to drugs. He had all the money, all the fame, all the houses, cars, anything you could ever want. But there's one thing that he couldn't shake is that cocaine habit. And Michael Jackson had a habit too, and that Dr. Conrad was applying him with that habit. Just because he had money, Dr. Conrad kept on feeding him. He had a habit too. So don't think just because you see people famous and rich and think they have it all together. A lot of times their personal life be shit. This is facts.
And they wanted to show people, look, this man was definitely up for it. Focused, energy. He was up for what was ahead. He was looking forward to it. And I think the movie was a very good move by AEG to say, look, the man put so much into this, he would want the world to see what he was doing, what he can do. And I think it was a good move for the fans, and it was a good move for Michael.
An extraordinary thing, especially to those who don't understand how you can develop tolerance to drugs, is that on June the 24th, the day before his death, Michael Jackson, during rehearsal, gave, by all eyewitness accounts, an absolutely extraordinary performance. So despite the fact that that time he'd gone on propofol for 60 consecutive days, that he had this vast cocktail of drugs inside his body, he was still able to perform. And not just to perform well, but to perform to a level that many other artists could only, or most other artists could only dream of. Whatever you think of Michael Jackson, one thing you have to concede is that he was an extraordinary performer. One of the greatest performers, not just of his generation, but of any generation. And his final performance, the performance on the eve of his death, bears witness to that, perhaps more than any other performance he ever gave.
Wow, with a bang, Mike.
1 a.m., June 25th, 2009. At Michael Jackson's Los Angeles home, Dr. Conrad Murray sat by the star's bedside as Jackson lies awake in bed, unable to sleep. Jackson begs Dr. Murray for a dose of propofol to send him to sleep. And at first, the doctor resists. After 60 consecutive nights of administering the drug, Murray tries to stand his ground, but Jackson continues to beg, expressing his agony and discomfort. Finally, Dr. Murray surrenders and administers Jackson the propofol. 1:30 a.m. Despite having been administered propofol, Jackson is still awake. His excessive use of this highly dangerous drug has left his body almost immune to its effects. Dr. Murray gives Jackson 10 milligrams of Valium and waits by his bedside.
What's fascinating and tragic about the way that Michael Jackson died was the sheer volume of prescription medication that Conrad Murray was administering to him was beyond belief. On the day he died, Jackson had been on propofol, which is an anesthetic which should only be administered by anesthetists, for 60 consecutive days. Just imagine that for a minute. 60 consecutive days of propofol. And still he could not sleep. And that's because, like with all drugs, prescription drugs, synthetic drugs, illegal drugs, natural drugs, whatever type of drug you are taking, the brain develops tolerance. So the effect you get when you first take the drug is not the effect you get on the hundredths or the 200ths or the 500ths or the thousandth time. So you need more and more and more and more of the drug. And the pleasure and relief you got from taking the drug to begin with turns into pain and distress. So you take the drug no longer for pleasure, but simply to stop feeling pain. Michael Jackson undoubtedly was in extraordinary emotional pain and stress because of his lifestyle, his life, and the comeback tour. And also, he was putting an enormous physical stress on his body. So he had physical pain and emotional pain to contend with, and he just wanted to sleep.
"3 a.m. Shockingly, Michael Jackson is still.
Hold on, before we continue, man, this is part 2. If y'all ain't checked out part 1, Michael Jackson's last 24 hours, make sure y'all go over there and check out part 1. I will leave the link in the description. Another thing, if you ain't followed by now, if you ain't subscribed, make sure you subscribe, follow, comment, show your boy some love. Without further ado, I'm going to get right back into the video. For those of y'all who've been rocking with me, keep it rocking. Let's go.
Awake, even after receiving dose after dose of dangerously strong drugs. Dr. Murray proceeds to administer 2 milligrams of Versed by an IV drip. 7 a.m. Disturbingly, Jackson is still awake. Dr. Murray strongly affirms that he spent the night by Jackson's bedside, monitoring his pulse and oxygen levels. Dr. Murray administers a further dosage of Versed through Jackson's IV.
But even that was not enough to send Michael Jackson to sleep. So over the next few hours, the last few hours of Michael Jackson's life, he was administered with benzodiazepines, with central nervous system depressants, sedatives of one sort or another, intravenously, until he drifted off into sleep, unconsciousness, and eventually death.
10:20 a.m. With Jackson still awake and in visible agony, Dr. Conrad Murray makes a final, fatal decision. He administers a further 20.
I'm tripping on, like, how's nobody around when he just doping Mike up? Just the king of pop. He just sitting over there just doping them up and doping them up and dope, man. Nobody came in. Man, this is wild. This is wild, because I'm like, this one of the greatest pop icons, performers this world has ever seen. And this dude just sitting by him bedside, just filling them up with dope. And there's no one around him to put an end to it. It's crazy.
5 milligrams of propofol to Michael Jackson. The king of pop finally falls into a deep sleep. 11:30 a.m. The powerful cocktail of drugs inside Jackson's body has now become lethal, and he goes into cardiac arrest.
So Michael Jackson might have struggled for breath. Slowly, he might have suffocated, gradually losing consciousness until the moment came when his heart stopped.
12:26 p.m. An unidentified man makes the 911 call to the LAPD.
Fire paramedic 33, what is the emergency?
Yes, sir. I need an ambulance as soon as possible, sir.
When the 911 call came, our firefighters at our dispatching center, which is located 4 floors below the city hall, down in the catacombs, if you will, of the city, they took a 911 call that shocked the world.
Okay, sir, what's your address?
It's 100 North Carrollwood Drive, Los Angeles, California.
Let me know down in the comments what your favorite Michael Jackson song. What your favorite Michael Jackson song is. So I say Billie Jean, one of mine, Thriller, of course, Off the Wall, and I can go on and on. Let me know down in the comments what your favorite MJ song is, man.
California, 90077.
You said Carrollwood?
Carrollwood Drive, yes.
Unfortunately, at the time, the dispatcher answered the phone call and never once did the caller ever identify to the Los Angeles Fire Department that the person that needed our help was Michael Jackson.
Okay, sir, what's the phone number you're calling from? Okay, sir, and what's the problem? Tell me exactly what happened.
Sir, we have a gentleman here that needs help, and he's not breathing yet. He's not breathing, and we're trying to pump him, but he's not
Okay.
breathing, sir.
Okay, how old is he?
He's 50 years old, sir.
50, okay. He's unconscious, he's not breathing?
Yes, he's not breathing, sir.
Okay, and he's not conscious either. He's not
No,
breathing.
he's not conscious, sir.
Okay.
Once the dispatcher got information about the patient and what was happening with the patient, the identifier said that the patient was pulseless and non-breathing, and that a doctor was on the scene doing CPR on the bed. So part of our instructions, as already our firefighters and paramedics are responding, we still have a firefighter on the phone with the caller giving directions to give life-saving techniques to the people that could help.
All right, do you have him? Is he on the floor? Where's he at right now?
He's on the bed, sir. He's on the bed.
Okay, let's get him on the floor.
Okay?
Okay, let's get him down to the floor. I'm going to help you with CPR right now, okay?
We need him.
Yes, we're already on our way there. We're on our way. I'm going to do as much as I can to help you over the phone. We're already on our way. Did anybody see him?
Yes, we have a personal doctor here with him, sir.
Oh, you have a doctor there?
Yes, but he's not responding to anything. No, he's not responding to CPR or anything, sir.
Oh, okay. Well, we're on our way there. If your guys are doing CPR and you're instructed by a doctor, he has a higher authority than me, and he's there on scene.
Okay.
Did anybody witness what happened?
No, just the doctor, sir.
Paramedics arrive at the scene, but Dr. Murray can no longer detect a pulse.
I was told that Michael Jackson was being transported to UCLA Hospital on June 25th, and the fire department was on scene at Michael Jackson's house 3 minutes and 17 seconds. From the time that the emergency 911 call came on June 25th to when it came to the fire station, from the firefighters getting out of the fire station to the address where Michael Jackson was 3 minutes and 17 seconds. We worked on Michael Jackson for approximately about 48 minutes, and once the fire department realized that it was now proper to transport our patient, Michael Jackson, to the hospital, they were 2.3 miles away, but he worked about 45 to 48 minutes. We worked 45 minutes because as paramedics, we call it the golden hour. And the firefighters, paramedics can pass medications, can do life-saving techniques to help our patients. We're in contact with our base station, which is at UCLA, giving us medical direction on what type of medicines we could give our patients to help them survive.
2:26 p.m., June 25th, 2009. The legend of Michael Jackson comes to a shocking end. He is pronounced dead at the Ronald Reagan UCLA Medical Center.
Oh, it was devastating.
It was like the world paused
I just can't actually believe it. It still feels like it's a really bad dream. It hasn't really sunk in. It just doesn't feel real. It feels all wrong.
Well, I was actually in my room and I was watching something on one of the other channels, and I got a phone call, and a friend of mine said, "Have you seen the news?" And I said, "What do you mean?" He just put the news on. So I flicked over, and of course, it said Michael was admitted to hospital, and then it's just got from one bad thing to another, and then he was pronounced dead, and it was, I mean, I just couldn't believe it. I thought it was in a dream. I was going to wake up. It was all a big joke. It's just, I just couldn't absorb it. It was just horrible. This happened, I think, UK time around 2 o'clock in the morning, and my kids were upstairs, and I thought, well, do I go up and tell her? I said, no, I let them sleep. They have to get up for school in the morning. And when I went up and knocked on their door, and I said, look, I've got something really awful to tell you. And I told them, and, you know, they just broke down and floods of tears. So it was really, that's what, you know, hit me there.
One time, man, rest in peace to the King of Pop, man. Moment of silence for the King of Pop, with all due respect. We miss you, Mike. Miss you, Mike.
And really,
everybody felt a connection, whether you liked him or not. You grew up with something, you remember the song, you connected. It could be a dance with your partner, whatever it is. It was at a place that you first heard when Thriller came out. You was upstairs on the BB, I don't know, whatever it was. And they felt there was a certain element of loss, something, whether they liked him or not.
Ever since I was born, Daddy has been the best father you could ever imagine. And I just wanted to say I love him so much.
But the question on everyone's lips is, why did this happen? And the second question, who is to blame?
Crazy, man. I'm gonna stop it right there, man. This is part 2. Y'all, like I say, you know, I like to get in y'all face. That was part 2. Like I say, if y'all ain't went and check out part 1, I'm gonna put the link in the description. Make sure y'all go check out part 1, then come back and check out part 2, then go back and check out part 1, then come back and check out part 2. Because hey, I do need the watch time. I ain't even gonna lie to you. But what other than that, man, I appreciate y'all for rocking with me, man. This is your boy D Lynn. This is D Lynn Reacts. And like I always say, keep it ghost.